This is an email I sent to an organisation called Put Kids First on Friday the 14th of August 2020. A kind person on the Fathers for Justice list suggested that you may be able to help. Apologies if this is not the case. I have no experience in this and I'm seeking a way forward. Many thanks for taking the time to consider my request. Greetings. My wife Deepa, daughter Sanaya, and I recently moved to France, 28th of June 2020. Our home is in Lourdes, France. We're all British and/or have leave to remain. We have no rights in France yet, as it takes at least 3 months before one can register, and so on. On Wednesday, 13th of August 2020, my wife Deepa Naik deceived me, leaving a note saying my daughter and her had gone to visit a nearby castle. I called them over 20 times to check in on them, as I always do every day, regardless. It is crucial to me that I speak with my daughter. Just always have spoken to her first thing in the morning. I did start to worry around 2 p.m. when they just hadn't answered the phone and had come home for lunch. I called almost non-stop from then. I could see Deepa was online on WhatsApp, but she didn't take my call. At 4:10 p.m., Deepa called me when she was about to take off on a flight from Lourdes to London. She was taking my daughter with her. It is important to note she left a note that she was visiting a castle. I told her to get off the flight, but she refused to do so. It was just about to leave, and she was going first to London and then to Cornwall. I called the police at Stansted Airport, and they said they couldn't do anything. They said if Deepa hadn't threatened my child, there was nothing they could do. They said I would need a court order. I have finally located where they are at a friend of mine in Cornwall. I would like to proceed with a court order to ensure my daughter is returned to me. Ideally, I understand that I cannot lay charges for abduction, but I'd like to do whatever is available to me. My interest is to protect my daughter. She has now been shown how to plot, scheme, lie, steal, and deceive. She has seen at least 4 adults condone and be involved with this behavior. She is also, of course, being shown by these adults that her father is bad and thus needs to be taken away from me. I have no experience in this at all. I would be very grateful for all advice to proceed with a court order, which lawyers, what court, etc. I need to do. I am available on my phone number. I would be very, very, very grateful to discuss any of this. I'm available anytime, as there is nobody at home with me at the moment but me. It is important to note we have no major issues in our relationship. No alcoholism, no drug use, no affairs, no money issues, etc. Nothing at all. The 3 issues that do exist: 1, I became a Christian around 3 years ago, born again, but not part of any religion, etc. And it simply drives her up the wall. She cannot stand it and appears to hate me for it. I was liberal before and we did not marry under God. She is born a Hindu, Brahmin caste, and as though never practiced, she thinks Christians destroyed India, etc., etc. She has tried to pretend she believes in God and knows about Hinduism. Seems to be in an arms race with me to combat Christian influence on our home, which is actually very low-key and subtle. 2, she finds it very difficult to discuss things calmly. She cannot wait until my daughter is asleep. She needs to get it all out in front of my daughter, even though she has promised me countless times that she would wait until the evening. We had agreed not to have adult conversations in front of children. 3, she claims the names I call her when she does the above mentioned are unacceptable. This includes me saying things like, this is evil, stop it, we can talk about it later when Sanaya is asleep. Stop this wickedness, we can discuss this later when our daughter is asleep. I do call her these, but only after asking her to stop at least 10 times. I have also been collecting a list of names she has called me in the last 2 days. It's a full A4 page. Normally I don't keep a list, but I knew she was up to something and I needed to protect myself so I'll be able to protect my daughter, which might include getting custody in the future. Yours truly, Trenton Oldfield.